Elsewhere, the Niger Delta for PANDEF, or short, has called on President Bola Tinubu to sign the South-South Development Commission bill into law. The group has also demanded the renaming of the Niger Delta Commission back to its original name, All Mineral Producing Area Development Commission. That's OMPADEC in the old days, according to PANDEF's national spokesman, Dr. Obiuwevbi. Signing the SSDC bill would promote justice and equity, just as similar bills for other regions have received presidential approval. Clarified that NDDC should not be mistaken for the South-South Commission, as it serves all producing communities beyond the South-South region. Dr. Ominimini joins us now. Great to have you on Newsday.
Thank you for having me.
Very good, sir. So let's look at the bill for the SSDC, which is just before the president for signing. Can you walk us through how this development came about since inception?
Thank you very much. We, the people of Niger Delta, have noticed that things that concern the region are not taken as important. Of course, you will agree with me that the NDDC Act was brought into existence as a result of the National Assembly setting aside the veto power of Mr. President. Today, you have development commissions in the other 5 geopolitical zones in Nigeria, but that of the South-South geopolitical zone, which is South-South Development Commission, has not been assented to by Mr. President. It is on this basis that PANDEF has asked on Mr. President to please, as a matter of urgent public importance, assent to that bill, because Niger Delta sustains Nigeria. The money that makes Nigeria to be a country today is coming from Niger Delta, from the oil and gas that come from the South-South geopolitical zone. The advantage position God has placed the people of Niger Delta, if some other region had been in such advantage position, they would have remained disloyal. They would have opted to leave Nigeria as a nation. But the people of Niger Delta have remained committed to the laws and rules of this country. In fact, when there was civil war in Nigeria, the Niger Delta people, the South-South geopolitical zone, fought on the side of the federal government. That tells you we believe in the unity of this country. So what PANDEF is calling for today is that we should not be treated as a second-class citizen in a country where we belong, in a country where we contribute the highest percentage of money with which Nigeria is governed. All states of the Federation come to the Federal Capital Territory every 4 weeks to collect money to run their state. This money is coming from Niger Delta. So, if the geopolitical zones are considered to have a development commission, that of the South-South geopolitical zone should be taken as a priority. And we want Nigeria government not to treat us as sinners, because what is happening in Nigeria today is that people of Niger Delta are treated like second-class citizens. Just for example, look at the destruction of artisanal refineries today in Niger Delta. Every day you hear of the destruction of artisanal refinery in Niger Delta by the military. But there is no single destruction of artisanal gold mining in other parts of the country. You have gold in abundance in the Federal Capital Territory, in Zamfara, in nearby Nasarawa here, and there is no single destruction of artisanal mining of gold, of lithium, of tin, of iron ore. Some of the markets in northern Nigeria that were used for agricultural products have been converted to market for lithium. Lithium is one of the essential solid minerals that is needed all over the world. It is found here in Nigeria, but there's no money on the table that is being shared by the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation, and Fiscal Commission on a monthly basis, as they do from oil and gas, for gold, for lithium, for tin, for iron ore, for columbine, and other solid minerals. So we are asking, is there same law that governs the entire Nigeria? You cannot treat us like second-class citizen. You cannot use double standard to govern a country where people now take their natural resources in northern Nigeria into their pocket. You now have cartel for gold mining. You know that 1 barrel of oil is about 159 liters of equivalent to 159 liters. So nobody can carry that on his head. You also know the value amount in dollar for a barrel of liter. But just a palm full of gold amounts to millions of dollars. So you have people enriching themselves in northern Nigeria and some parts of western Nigeria from illegal gold mining. And the federal government turns their eyes away from that. So we want to ask, what is the essence of the office of the National Security Advisor? What is the essence of the office of the Civil Defense? What is the essence of the office of the Nigerian Army? Is the Nigerian Army meant to work in South-South geopolitical zone, turning blind eye to those who are mining, stealing our natural resources in northern Nigeria? You have Nigeria borrowing money every year to run the Nigeria budget. Meanwhile, God has placed on our table good resources that can give Nigeria more than the money they borrow. And that money should have come from gold and lithium. South Africa is driven by gold reserve. The gold reserve in Nigeria is more than the entire gold reserve in South Africa. But the money from the gold reserve, gold extraction in Nigeria, is not on the table. So that amounts to treating the Niger Delta as a second-class citizen.
Now,
that was
Dr.
why
Ominimini,
in the meeting of the board of...
Sorry to interrupt you, but I'm just wondering, what then is the essence of the NDDC? Would the SDDC not be replicating, or duplicating the effort of the NDDC, especially at a time when Nigerians are calling for a reduction in the cost of governance?
Thank you very much. God bless you for bringing this question. You may want to know the development commissions that are there in other geopolitical zones. Where is their money coming from? And where is the money of NDDC coming from? Today, NDDC is meant to get their money from derivation in order to solve the ecological problem, the devastation of the ecosystem, and the environment that is caused by the oil extraction. That is different from the Development Commission as it is in other geopolitical zones. That was why the BOT said, in order not to misconstrue it with the other Development Commission, NDDC should be reverted to the original name, which is Oil Mineral, Development for the oil mineral area. So NDDC is purely different from the other Development Commission because the source of funding will be clearly different. NDDC can only be equated if you have solid mineral area development commission. That is the difference. So the source of funding from NDDC is different from the source of funding from South-South Development Commission. NDDC is not meant today for only South-South geopolitical zone. NDDC is meant for both states in the Southeast, such as Imo, such as Abia. NDDC is meant for states in the Southwest, such as Ondo State. area where oil is being found and extracted to put money into the coffers of the federal government. And the people of this area, they bear the brunt of the oil production. So NDDC is different from the Geopolitical Zone Development Commission. That was why we are now saying revert back to the former name, so that ab initio, people can now understand. At a glance, people can now understand that NDDC is different from the Geopolitical Zone Development Commission. So President Tinubu should not waste time to sign the South-South Development Commission bill as passed by the National Assembly.
All right, Doctor, as part of PANDEF's communique that was released not too long ago, your group is also demanding the president to appoint the next group CEO of NNPCL from the Niger Delta. So what informed this decision?
Thank you very much. Niger Deltas are treated as if there's nothing they can do. And this is not good for the unity of Nigeria. The oil, the gas, is domiciled in South-South Geopolitical Zone, the Niger Delta. Check NNPC today and the subsidiary of NNPC. You discover that NNPC, it is now a property of certain geopolitical zone. Look at all the parastatals under NNPC, either the NGC, and look at other critical decision-making body in the oil sector, such as Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, such as Midstream Petroleum Development Regulatory Commission, Authority. You discover that the South-South Geopolitical Zone is exempted, is deliberately taken away from the critical decision-making body in the petroleum industry. And it is very fair, it is just that this area that produce the oil and gas, at least they should be considered for the chief executive from Niger Delta. How do you feel that we who come from Niger Delta, we cannot fish, we cannot farm, we cannot drink our water? Farming and fishing are the mainstay of economy of the people of South-South Geopolitical Zone. Today, our people eat ice fish, and our people have to order from cow all the way from northern Nigeria in order to have protein. When we have protein at our doorstep given to us by God. But because of the devastation of the river, of the ecosystem, we can no longer have fish in our river. Even the water, you cannot even use it to wash your clothes properly because it is already contaminated with oil activities. So today, we are saying that we should be given the opportunity to produce. The president should appoint the next chief executive of NNPCL from Niger Delta, because for many years, our people are no longer in the system. The gas flare is killing our people daily. The diseases that confront our people in Niger Delta, their names cannot even be ascertained. In your parlor, within 10 minutes, it will be covered. Your table, your beds in the bedroom will be covered by soot. And our people are suffering daily. So we are saying that for us to be given sense of belonging, the chief executive of NNPC should be appointed from the region that bear the brunt of this oil production. That is a good demand. We are not calling for appointment of chief executive for Gold Commission, which does not even exist in Nigeria. This is the raw material that God has given to us. And the exploitation and exploration of this raw material, of these natural resources, is giving our people a lot of headache. So if others who do not bear the brunt of oil productions are in the helm of affair and they do not have concern for our people, When our person is there, he must have concern for his people. Look at the Ogoni cleanup. The Ogoni cleanup. The just announced Ogoni cleanup for years now. They've not been able to clean 10 by 10 feet in Ogoni land. And everywhere in Niger Delta is as devastated and even more devastated than Ogoni land. So how long will it take federal government to clean up Niger Delta? Maybe in the next 200 years. And you know another major sin against the people of Niger Delta? Another major sin against the people of Niger Delta is that those IOCs that polluted the Niger Delta, that caused it devastation, they overnight packed their load and left Niger Delta and sold the assets to other oppressors without even giving the Niger Delta people the right of first refusal. You operated in my area for many years, left the area. As you were going to leave, you ought to ask the people of Niger Delta whether they will acquire those assets. We have the capacity to acquire those assets. And in any way, those they leave the property for, how much do they bring? They just approach a bank because it's an area of good investment. Banks give them money to acquire this facility. So Shell has left many parts of the region for other people to come in. And those who came in, the memorandum of understanding they even signed with the community cannot be executed before the PIA came on board. And go and check the records.
Now, Dr. Ominimini, one of the objectives, of the proposed SSDC is to address environmental degradation. And I'm so happy you brought up the issue of the Ogoni cleanup and reconciliatory efforts with the aim of restarting oil exploration in Ogoni land again. So what measures do you think can be put in place to prevent oil spills and further pollution in the Niger Delta?
Number one, the South-South Development Commission bill should be assented to. If assented to, it will help to facilitate and fast-track development in Niger Delta. That one is a major step. We are appealing to President Tinubu not to treat us like past presidents of this country. We have National Assembly that has done well, the common National Assembly that has done well in passing the South-South Development Commission bill to Mr. President. Not quite long, Mr. President assented to that of the North Central Development Commission. We expected that that of the South-South Development Commission should have also been assented to. So PANDEF, the leaders of this region that has made sure, the leaders of this region that have made sure that the free flow of the oil exists should not be put to shame, because we are getting to the position where we have nothing to explain to our youth again. We have been telling our youth that there will be light at the end of the tunnel. They are asking us, where is the light today? If federal government opens up and tell you the quantity of gas they are taking from Niger Delta, you will cry. There are 3 major connections of pipeline today leaving Niger Delta. One coming from Associated Gas Gathering Center of Shell in Ghana, Agbarauto. Another one coming from Iroike in Kokori, connects to Ughelli, from Ughelli to Oturugu Gas Plant, from Oturugu Gas Plant to Focados Yokri, from there to Bonga and to Boni for the Nigeria LNG. Another one connecting from Ughelli to Oturugu Gas Plant, from Oturugu Gas Plant to Lagos, from Lagos to Ghana. And you know that company, WAPCO, put their headquarters in Ghana, so nobody knows about their operation. And Ghana, as Federal Republic, celebrated their 10 years of uninterrupted electricity with gas coming from Niger Delta. But the people of Niger Delta barely have 30 hours of light within a month. Is that not a shame? Go to Niger Delta in the evening. You see smoke everywhere. People running their home with generator. You cannot even hear because of noise of generator. Generator is one of the most essential commodity in Niger Delta today. And there is another one, gas, coming from Ugale to Oturugu, from Oturugu gas plant to Sapele, Associated Gas Gathering Area, from there to Oben, from Oben straight to Ajaokuta, from Ajaokuta to Kaduna. So, and from there onward, you can see that the volume of gas that is leaving Niger Delta, one day there will be earthquake in that region. Meanwhile, the people of today that suffer the brunt of that oil exploitation and exploration, the government doesn't think it twice to do something for the people.
All right.
That is evil. Another evil against the people of Niger Delta is this, the gas flare penalty.
All right.
Today, Nigeria government collects Nigeria government collects gas flare penalty.
Dr. Ominimini, spokesperson of PANDEF, it's been an enlightening discussion with you. We'd like to thank you for your thoughts on these issues. It's good to have you with us.